So today we're going to talk about how having a nervous breakdown led me to finding my purpose. Now those two things are kind of really at odds to each other, because how would I go through something so hellish that it would lead to me finding my purpose? If you don't know my story, oh my god, just think about this. It's just like, it's crazy to me. So in 2019, I ended up in the hospital because I essentially was so nauseous. I could barely talk. I could barely move. I wasn't eating anything. I lost 20 pounds. Like, I went through absolute hell. And honestly, when I went to the hospital and they did all the tests, they didn't find anything wrong with me. And that was kind of like a slap in the face because I really thought that there was something that they were going to find. And if anyone's been through this, when you're going through something like that and then there's no answers for it, you feel so confused and so frustrated and so mad. Like, I was so mad that there were no answers, but I felt so horrible, and I just wanted the answers, but no one could find anything. And so that kind of led to me trying to discover it on my own. Luckily, I was a nutritionist, and that kind of detective work was kind of my thing when it came to like what was happening in the body. So for me, it took time to actually find out what was going on in my body. I discovered actually probably knew this a long time ago, but I didn't want to listen to my body. So I found out that I do not do well on coffee, and it was actually a major symptom in my body that, like, symptoms that were showing up were like essentially brain fog and like just my blood sugar dropping. Like, it was just so bad. Like, coffee also wouldn't give me energy, and that was probably should have been my one clue that like is probably not good in my body if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do to most people. Like, it was actually depleting me of energy. And so that was probably something I should have paid attention to, but did not, because I was addicted to coffee, and coffee is so good. But anyways, that was like one of the things that did not work in my body, which I had to discover and literally had to remove, and have not drank it ever since, and have noticed just so many benefits from not drinking coffee. But I have to say, that's a hard thing to discover and to know about your body. So it really took a lot of self-discovery and like connecting back to my body, being able to figure out what was happening on more of like an energetic level. Because if the doctor's not finding anything, then like there was definitely something going on, because I was feeling all of these symptoms that were unexplained by doctors, but there was definitely something going on. So my own detective work was kind of figuring out how to reconnect to my body, because I was so disconnected from my body. I didn't really care about my body. I never, like, other than like, yes, I went to nutrition school, but I think I did it in the beginning. I was like so worried about what I was eating and ingredients and all this stuff, and I was eating a vegan diet, and that was just not for my body. And so it really took connecting back to my body and realizing what was right for it. Like, I needed protein, I needed more calories, I needed to stop caring about stuff that didn't matter. Like, oh no, there's like canola oil in this. Like, no. Like, I did not need any of that. I didn't need to hyper focus on what was in food, but instead just relax and just eat, because I think my body was malnourished because I just wasn't eating enough and I wasn't eating for my body. So again, I had to connect back to my body and realize what was right for it. So that meant eating more carbs, that meant eating more protein, that meant eating more food during the day. And honestly, how you can find your purpose too, but probably not, let's hope not the way I found it. So for me, my journey led to me focusing on self-connection, connecting back to your body, because everything that I went through has taught me those two things. And that's what I want to teach now. So although it was a very, very difficult journey to get to where I am now, I would say that I am very connected to who I am, my body, and I listen to myself and my body. And that is a huge difference from a couple years ago. And as you've heard my story, like, I was definitely disconnected from myself. And I want to teach others how to connect back to their bodies and who they are, to follow their own path, to find happiness in who they are, to build that self-worth, to take care of themselves, creating those self-care routines, and honoring who you are. And let's face it, like, stop listening to other people, because they be wrong most of the time. So that's a huge key of it too. It's just like following your own path and listening to your own heart. So yeah, I have to say that, like, that nervous breakdown at age 29 was definitely leading me to a path of finding what my purpose was. And I was so lost for a long time on what my purpose was. And even though my intuition kept on telling me that I wanted to do something online on my own, be an entrepreneur, to run my own business, I was not listening at that point. And I am grateful for what I went through, because I am finally doing what my purpose is and absolutely doing something that I am passionate about. And so, although I don't think it takes my journey to get to where you need to get to, I just want to remind you that sometimes our purpose finds us in really odd ways. And always connect back to your intuition and listen to yourself and your body when it comes to finding your purpose. I do believe that most of us know our purpose on some sort of level, but we are too scared to follow it, which I totally understand. But following your path will lead you to your purpose. So do that, find your own way, stop listening to other people, and hopefully you are connected enough to yourself to start listening to your intuition and follow your own path to your purpose. So that's my journey on how I found my purpose, through going through hell and through a nervous breakdown. But you don't have to go through that to find your purpose. And if you're having any troubles connecting back to yourself and your body, I have created a course called The Rising, because you are meant to rise, that goes through all of these topics on how to connect back to yourself and follow your path and find your purpose. So I will link that down below. You can get on the wait list. It is launching soon. I am so excited. So get your butt on that wait list. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video.